GKN is a major global engineering company made up of 4 main businesses. First of all, an aerospace business focusing on large structures for people like Airbus and Boeing, and parts of engines for all the engine suppliers. Secondly, we have a land systems business making everything from equipment for agriculture to construction to defense industry. Thirdly, a powder metallurgy business making highly complex parts for both automotive and industrial. And lastly, a very large global driveline business, and we are based here in the Birmingham factory off driveline. The recession for GKN was extremely painful all around the world.
The recession came as a huge blow to everybody. It was a massive impact. It's happened so quickly. We had a drop in orders of over 60%, and it happened in such a short space of time that the company had to react very quickly. We had a number of discussions that weren't very nice. They were painful discussions, obviously.
Within the first 2 months of the crisis, we had to release 9,000 people globally, some 4,000 were that in driveline. So right across the piece, the effects of the downturn were felt, from the shop floor workers right up through the staff, through into the management population, restructuring, releasing temporary and agency workers initially, and then engaging in consultation with our trade union colleagues and all employees over redundancies and the effect of those redundancies on employees.
Communication was vital. The most important thing was you have to have a plan. When you don't have a plan, uncertainty is the real enemy. So we had a plan and we communicated it every way we could, through our European Forum, through our employee councils, through our trade unions. We got to every single employee so that they knew what the impact was on them. It was very clear that we had to move quickly, and the thing that we did there was implementing short-time working across all our factories, across all our offices. We froze salaries, people reduced their salaries, but we had the equivalent of 2,500 full-time employees short-time working. Those people are still working with the company today. They went through a lot of pain, but they're still working with the company today and back to working normally. So that was a huge success around the world.
If we hadn't have signed up to the short-time working agreement and the bank hours agreement, I think we certainly would have lost more jobs, yeah.
They didn't believe it would be done so quickly, but they stuck with us. And we didn't just communicate once, we communicated regularly and at local level. And our management spent a lot of time on the shop floor, in the business with employees. So eventually they got it, and we moved very quickly. So from when we finished talking to action was days, not weeks and months.
It was probably the hardest thing I've had to do as a senior rep. It was very difficult, but you know, I think we sold it in a way to the employees that it was a case of this was the best case scenario, rather than get rid of the amount of people that we'd have had to have got rid of because of the drop in orders. So although it was at the time it was very difficult, looking back now, I think we've done a reasonable job.
Because of the swift action taken, and that was Kevin Smith's initial instructions to us as a management team, we must take these actions to ensure that we are in good shape for the upturn. It was only those swift actions that I believe protected us and the shape of our business for the future.
Trade unions were a key part of our plan in terms of communication, engagement with them. But more important than that was that we set out to engage with every single employee. A lot of our locations around the world are unionized, many are not. It didn't matter to us. We communicated with every employee. We wanted to engage with union leaders because we wanted them in partnership with us, and it worked well. Throughout the whole of the turmoil we had to manage our way through, we didn't lose one day through lost time to action, which is testament to everybody involved. For us, it's critical to have engagement with all our employees, and we spend a lot of time and have spent a lot of time over a great number of years, building that relationship and trust with them. They understand the future, they know how they contribute, they know how they can develop and have a good career with us through that time. So they buy into it, they support it, they make the implementation so much easier. What we said as we went into the downturn, if we manage the downturn well, it will give us opportunities on the upside. And that is turning into a reality. Our businesses are all back, making profit and growing.